This is Nerd News Cafe, Stir It Up, with Matt, Landon, and Justin.
Get ready to stir it up. It is round 36, and I'm hyped to the max, and I want it. I want it bad. This is Matt.
This is Justin.
Dear God.
And I'm a little bit scared based off of Matt's intro. My name is Landon Doan. Oh,
It is one shot, two shot for me with the Starbucks drink.
yeah, holy crap, man. Decaf.
Nope. No.
Might I suggest that?
I just did my my John Cena beer here because you can't see the beer that's in this cup.
That's right.
I'm ready to go. Ready to go.
This one's going to get kind of interesting because I think the caffeine is definitely in full effect, and it's going to fuel that rampage that you're going to go on later during your roast.
I want to tear a new Godzilla anus in this freaking
Stay tuned,
story.
people.
Oh, boy. Wow, that's 2 shows in a row we've talking about Godzilla's anus.
Does he have one, and what comes out of it?
Oh, absolutely. He's got.
I really don't want to find out. Like I'm really into monster movies. I don't know if I'm that into monster
But wouldn't you like to see him eat a building and crap it out?
But also, wait a second. I think we're doing a gender bender here. Isn't Godzilla female?
Could be. Still has an anus.
Well, no, but we keep saying he and
She.
I'm saying
Herm, Shim, whatever.
Godzilla. What would you think Godzilla eats?
Buildings.
Whatever
Planes.
it wants.
Okay,
Fish.
Well, fair. It's not like it's going to live on krill. I guess is my point.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like it could probably swallow like blue whale, so it does it like it does the krill.
Well, if we all remember the classic 1998 movie Godzilla starring Matthew Broderick, it eats a lot of fish.
Or it eats a lot of crow because they said it was going to be great and it wasn't.
God, that movie sucked.
Thanks, Matthew Broderick. Way to enhance our lives with Ferris Bueller and then dust us with this garbage of Godzilla.
Which, by the way, speaking of the 1998 classic Godzilla,
Stop
that is
saying
a tease
classic.
for Hot Streamy coming up later.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I get to rant on it more.
Yep. Prepare your body.
Oh, it's prepared.
I have water dripping from my mustache.
I noticed you had a couple little drops hanging off your mustache, but I didn't want to mention it. I was like, maybe that's just what he's going for, is that naive, commercial kind of look.
If you all needed any kind of positives, like selling points for growing a mustache, it does retain moisture very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you can take a big drink from a giant cup of water, and you get this nice. It's like those towels that you wrap around your neck, like on a hot day. It keeps that moisture in there, cools you down, and then when you're ready for a drink, you can like squeegee it down to your mouth, like this way. I'm doing a motion you can't see.
That's right. This is not a visual podcast.
Yeah.
But I will say that that motion also retains sweat. And that's a fun experience when you think that, the sweat has dried and it is
mustache.
not. Another fun experience with a beard that I've noticed is when I dry my hair, I have to dry it twice, the hair on my head and the
And the
hair on my
face.
face.
The
Yes.
face you do.
Because you start to put your clothes on and something is dripping on you.
You got to towel off the beard for
You
sure.
got to towel the beard.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a fact. Or blow dry if you
Or blow
want.
dry.
If you want the
yeah.
wind dry.
I feel like Zach
You want it-
Galifianakis has got
the beard fro.
Yeah, he's got like the whole. I feel if they had a men's article about him, how he, grooms himself, I would probably pay attention to it because I feel like he does a lot of blow drying of the beard and the luxurious mane that emanates from under his nose.
I'm just getting a picture of Teen Wolf. Didn't he? Wasn't he like
that's
blow
true.
drying
You're
his face?
right.
He blew
Yeah, that's a good
dry
one.
his face,
So
yeah.
if you imagine Teen Wolf or you've seen that part of the movie, look it up YouTube. That's pretty much a beard how it goes for you continuously, forever. So
I guess
now that
we
we're
had-
bearding bridges, what can I expect on Comic Book Corner here?
welcome back to Mustache Aficionado. I'm your host,
And we must ask you a question.
Tom Skerritt.
God.
Yeah, today we are featuring Tom Selleck,
Yes, the Tom Selleck and himself.
or are we talking about Burt Reynolds? Because to me, they're the same person.
We've talked about this
Callback.
before.
Yeah.
yeah. They're not the same person, though their facial hair are brothers.
Brothers and beards.
Brothers and beards.
No, I am foregoing Comic Book Corner today because I wanted to get straight to a little gaming talk. A couple of things.
Uh-huh.
First, I wanted to let you all know there's only so much I can say due to the extensive non-disclosure agreement I had to sign. But EA did select me to be part of the pre-alpha beta test for a new mobile game called Star Wars Rise to Power.
Cool.
I can tell you it exists. I can tell you that I'm a part of it. I'm not really supposed to say much else.
Is the color green used?
It has colors. Yes, it uses
Is there
touch screen.
sound?
There is sound.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you confirm that it's a video game?
I can confirm it is a video game. And I will tell you this because I don't think this...
Is it a video game or video media that's interactive?
It's a game. For sure, it's a game. I can tell you this. Most of the time right now, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You don't know what to do with your hands?
Pretty much.
On a touch screen?
I'm doing things. I don't know if I'm doing the right things.
That's not where the lightsaber goes.
It's mostly... I probably can say this too. It's
Be careful.
It's mostly dealing with space and starships. There's no like avatars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like space battles.
Yeah. So I'll say that.
You're a pilot. You can fly is what
I'm
you're
not.
telling us.
I can't say anything. I'm not saying anything else.
That's a Randy Quaid thing, so you
Not
can't say it in the
gonna say-
context of... Okay. No Randy Quaid quotes. Remember
not
that,
gonna do
Landon.
it. Not gonna do it. But yeah, that's all I'll say. But then I want to move on from that so I don't get sued.
I don't think you get sued. I think this is drop you from the beta or alpha or...
They might.
It's not quite
It
the
doesn't
Omega
really
yet.
say the steps that they would take. Yeah, it's not the Omega.
It's not the Omega.
It's pre-alpha, which is strange.
Pre-alpha.
I've never heard a
What
beta
is
test.
that?
I've never heard a test called a pre-alpha test.
What?
It's a closed pre-alpha, which to me, I thought it was. Is it going to be like code? I'm just like looking at code.
Yeah.
You're like, yep, those sure are ones and zeros.
Do you use Excel? Do you like it? How would you like to see more of it?
Yeah.
Visual
looks-
Basic. Do you enjoy it? A or B?
It looks like text. Hopefully, it can be good. But no, this past week was SNES Classic Week or SNES Classic Week.
Yeah.
The pre-orders, everything went live. They had them in the stores, and Landon was on point. Like he was our watchman. He
I
was
don't think I've ever gotten a text from him that early.
he was calling the shots.
Yes, I did actually wake up before noon to go get my SNES Classic.
It's usually interaction between me and Justin around the 8-ish a.m. time. And
Landon chimes in around 1 or 2.
Yeah, 1 or 2. And he's like, and he answers like all our questions, kind of does the old recatching of all of the material we covered. But he was like, hey guys, what's going on? Like, whoa, what day is it?
Yeah.
See, I like to think y'all are the East Coast feed, and then here I come a couple hours later on
Absolutely.
the West Coast feed.
There you go.
Totally with that thought process. And anytime I text.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was for whatever reason. I don't know if it was just due to the sheer excitement, but yeah, I was up. Right
It was like
early.
Christmas morning, man.
Yeah, it was like Christmas morning for me. I was super excited for this, and hopefully you were following us on Twitter, twitter.com/nerd_news_cafe, because like Jay mentioned, I was trying to get out there with who had what, because if you didn't get a pre-order, it seemed like you weren't going to be able to get one. But I was getting reports that people were just able to walk into Best Buys and be like, "Hi, I'd like one of those," and boom, they're at the door.
Target would not do pre-orders. I heard they were straight walk-ups. Is what the report I got from some of the stuff I was reading that Target, you just walked in and it was there. It wasn't.
One strategy that people were trying to use was to use online retailers, but many of the online retailers that have brick and mortar stores weren't doing online sales.
Yeah, I heard
So
that.
there were a few. Target did, and not Game Tyrant, Geek. What is it? Not Geek Tyrant. What's the one that? Crap.
Not that one either.
Think Geek.
Think Geek.
I think it was Think Geek had the SNES Classic, but it was like it wasn't. Their online sales didn't go live until midnight Pacific time.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they took a little different strategy, but I actually had Target pulled up on my phone, and I was like, I'm just going to order one of these as soon as it goes live. And yeah, I might have not made it to midnight, and I was past that. So then I woke up, and it was like 12:20, and I checked it, and they were gone.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
So the online sales went fast. So I thought, I was working Friday. I knew I couldn't get out and get one, so I thought that I was going to be out of luck. But Landon calling the shots, kind of moving the units out there. He was like, "Guys, if you can get to Best Buy, go, go, go!" And so, luckily, my wife works half days on Fridays. She was on the road, and I called her, and I was like, "Hey, would you mind doing me a favor?"
If you were in this general area and could be in this general store and with this general money,
Yeah. So I asked her to go stop by Best Buy, and she said she walked in. and she said,
They just stuffed it in her gut, and she's like, "What is this?" And they're like,
handoff.
"Just go to the
Like,
front
just
register."
Go.
But no, she said she went in and she said, I'm looking for the SNES Classic, and they said, oh, you need to go over to like the customer service desk. So she goes over there, and the lady was like, did you pre-order? She said, no. She was like, so you're not on this list? No, I just was told to come over here and get one. And she was like, the lady apparently was like, let me check. And she went back and she was like, yeah, we had one. I don't know what the deal
Wow.
was. So here's what I'll say. I feel like we may have taken someone's pre-order, and I'm okay with that.
I don't really care. Yeah, here's the thing: you snooze, you lose, and obviously Landon did not snooze because
Landon
he
was
did not
not
lose,
snoozing.
and your wife did not lose either. She was not snoozing also.
Early Bird definitely got the worm in this situation, though. It was funny you say you felt like you might have taken somebody's pre-order, because I overheard some employees at Best Buy tell somebody to check back at 1 o'clock because they would, quote, put out any orders that had not been picked up. And it's like, my assumption is if you pre-order something at Best Buy, you have at least a week to
You would
pick this
think.
thing up.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm not going to say anything. I feel like Best Buy has a bad reputation with that because I pre-ordered my phone from them because they had the best deal. I will say, if you guys are looking to upgrade your phone, go to Best Buy. They will do you right. But anyway, but when I went there to pick mine up, it was kind of like, it was later in the day, and they were like, what was your phone? And they had an empty pile, and they had it back behind the thing. They had no extras. But I saw people walk up and get them, and they were handing them people's phones, you know? And I
that's
was
what
like,
I'm saying. That's what I feel like happened.
Yeah.
Because Landon, when Sam got to the store, it was after 1 o'clock. So it was when they had released, quote unquote, released them, I guess. So
No, to the wild.
my assumption is they got a huge shipment in. And if you came in before 1, you had a pre-order, they'd give it to you. But after 1, it was like fair game.
yeah.
So is
I mean, possibly, but at the same time, like, I do know for a fact that Amazon.com, if you
Oh,
pre-order
I want to talk
that,
about this.
they got bumped it back, and now they're delivering sometime like into October.
Did you hear why?
All while Amazon was selling it on their like their, I think they're
The
called
treasure trucks.
treasure trucks or whatever.
They
were just
screwed
popping up.
everybody.
Yeah. So like, I'm very thankful
Bad
I went
move.
with BestBuy.com, even though here recently I have had my issues with their website.
Right.
They're
and how
a
they
weird.
can't price their inventory correctly. But good on BestBuy.com and Best Buy itself, because it seems like while everybody else was having issues with their pre-order, Best Buy's handled their pre-orders very well.
I don't know that Amazon had an issue with their pre-orders. I think they straight up screwed the people who ordered it, because they said the treasure trucks more or less had plenty of inventory, but yet they're not shipping, like you said, for a week.
What's the deal with treasure trucks? I don't know this.
It's literally like a food truck, except it's a vending machine.
Really?
Yeah, they just roll into town and you can buy crap off of them.
Yep, like big.
You've been to the
big
airport,
ticket
right?
items in big
Yeah.
cities.
Yeah, you know, like the airport, like you can buy Beats headphones and crap
yeah.
like it's exactly like that, except it's a truck.
Interesting.
So if you were to be
What
a
a
criminal
concept.
and you would need to heist it like Fast and the Furious, this is the truck you hit.
Food truck retail concept. That's really interesting to me.
And it's just a vending
and
machine. Yeah.
I was following Amazon. It seemed like every 15 minutes they were pushing a tweet out. If you're in Blah City, go hit up our treasure truck because we have SNES Classics.
Dude, Blah City has the best fried chicken. I'm just telling
They
you.
really do.
That's nice. Well, I mean, I'm kind of partial to the ribs, but
Well, so Landon and I we've been nostalgic gaming it up since we got our systems, and I got to tell you, Landon, last week we gave the full list of games that came packaged with the SNES Classic. Out of the games, what have you been spending most of your time on?
I think I said it last week. The first game I ever played in my original Super Nintendo was Super Mario World, so I fired that up. I've put a lot of hours into that. I've put a lot of time into Super Metroid. The girlfriend, when she got home from work that Friday, she pretty much kicked me off of the SNES Classic and went just full on Donkey Kong with Donkey Kong Country. Like
She
just
went
turned
full
it-
donkey.
Yeah, she like turning into a swear monster because that might be one thing you've noticed. They were able to recreate pretty much everything for good and bad when it came to the SNES because that controller is still kind of spongy, and on some of those platforming jumps, when you need a little bit, precise feel to it, that D-pad can kind of not give you that.
you guys said this about the
Disney Afternoon.
Disney Afternoon is
It's-
that they recaptured the glitches.
Yeah, the lag and stuff.
Yeah.
It still happens. Landon, you were saying you beat DuckTales mostly because of the rewind feature. I also did the same thing, and I experienced when there's a lot of action going on in the scene, it lags. And
Yep, it chugs.
yeah, so the SNES has that issue too sometimes. Yeah, there's some things that happen, but I kind of like it because I was thinking about this. You grew up playing that system the way it is, so it would almost be frustrating if it wasn't that way.
True.
Because
Your timing
it would
would be
feel
off.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would mess you up a little bit, I think.
That's a good theory.
Yeah.
What do you
I
think,
don't-
Landon?
I don't know. Do you think, Landon, do you think that it would feel less authentic if it didn't have some of the issues that the old system had?
I mean, maybe, but at the same time, it's like I would rather give up the quote unquote 100% authentic feel if they can, for the lack of a better term, have like an HD remastered version of it. I would rather get the quote unquote, high polished version as opposed to this is the 100% true experience, even the part where it might randomly corrupt your save file.
Because you know for sure that the processors we have today could run circles around anything
That's
that
why that
system
thing is
needs
so
to do.
small.
Yeah,
As not a part of the Cool Kids Club,
it's okay.
the controller plugins are not the same.
No,
are
they're
they?
not.
Why?
I assume it's because they don't make those anymore, and plus,
You can still buy them.
the connections that they have
Yeah.
are I've seen that connection before, so it must be some sort of like
It's
a
from the Wii.
universal. It's from the Wii.
Yeah.
Well, does that mean that you can use Wii controller hook-ins for it?
I would imagine
Because
you
the
will
Wii
be
did-
able to use third-party controllers because
Now-
I know there's third-party NES classic controllers,
Well,
and
you
I would
know-
imagine that's coming for the Super
Yeah.
Nintendo as well.
Does that have Bluetooth connectivity?
No,
No, it is not Bluetooth at
There
all. And-
is a controller that Amazon's releasing. This is where they did better. Is that I guess third-party controllers for this SNES Classic, they have Bluetooth connectivity, and I guess it uses some kind of dongle or something that goes
Yeah.
in the thing, so you can have so you're not like as Landon said, crisscross
Yeah.
applesauce in front of the freaking TV
Yeah,
because
'cause
the cords are
short.
6
Yeah,
inches long.
They are short.
6
yeah, that
inches.
was that's probably my one negative takeaway from not being able to get one, but the controller cord is very short. They made reference to it. I totally recreated my nostalgia feel because I had to go crisscross applesauce with my legs right in front of the TV. But to be fair, that totally ramped my nostalgia from a 10 to an 11. So wasn't necessarily a bad thing,
I need a beanbag. Too.
Does it use HDMI?
right?
Yeah,
Oh, so you could just have the system on the couch beside you and just run a
you
gigantic
could.
HDMI.
If you had a
cord.
long
Yeah.
HDMI, yeah, you've got to have power. So
You gotta have power.
now
Which,
we're playing
by the
with
way,
power.
The power, like the power source is so crazy. It's a micro USB to a USB plug. That is the power.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I've
because
got the
any
power.
phone charger will
So,
work.
Yeah, exactly. Any phone charger in theory should work.
I plugged it into the side of my TV. Most TVs these days have a USB.
Now wait
connection.
a minute. That's curious to me because what happens when you plug it in the computer?
You can. It just pulls power.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we've done it. We did it yesterday.
Interesting.
So you can't like access.
Well,
it.
that's what happened with the NSX Classic. Is people just ROM the piss out of that thing.
Yeah.
Like they took out the games or added more games to it, and you could buy them on eBay for 100+ games now on it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if
Which,
that's how they did it.
Apparently, the SNES Classic is just as ROMable.
Is
let's
it?
Just say.
So
Yeah.
maybe
As it should be.
So maybe because we just plugged it in and used it as power, and I just didn't notice that you could get access to the storage. But if you can, then
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could probably and I wonder if that's kind of a going forward ploy.
And
It's
it's
like-
so teeny.
It's very cute. It's cute.
It's so small. Like when I pulled it out of the box, I'm like, oh god, I'm afraid I'm going to break it.
Sand people
It's-
teeny.
It is cute to
Yeah.
look at.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it makes more sense that it's the same controller hook in as the Wii, but that was disappointing when I saw like the flip downs. I was like, "Aw."
You know, it's funny because when I first opened it, doing the unboxing, as they say,
Unboxing. Where's our video?
I know I should have made one.
Both of you.
I actually did not. I was like, "Where do you plug in the controllers?" I couldn't.
Oh, thank God you said that. Thank you, Jesus.
He didn't want to be the only dummy.
And then I realized, well, this has to be like, it must be that there's like a cover on the front, but then I couldn't figure out how to open it.
No, I got you.
Uh-huh.
I've been there. I've been there in a lot of things.
I felt so stupid. Like I I had to Google how to open front.
I didn't.
of
I didn't
S-Class.
Google it. I did figure it out, but I was a little nervous. I was like, I don't want to force it because then I'm going to
Yeah,
break
yeah.
it.
I was terrified I was going to snap it in half. It's like, oh yeah, that would be just my luck. I finally get one of these things and I break it before I can ever actually play it.
Well,
So can you stick just regular Super Nintendo cartridges in it?
no,
No.
they wouldn't fit. There's no way.
I just didn't know if
It
they had the
doesn't.
same opening. It was just a shorter base because I'm looking at your OG there and I'm trying to base it off.
I should take a picture. It'd be like father and son, generational.
You
picture.
should have done an unboxing. Guys, I am super disappointed in both of you.
I know.
For the podcast, you could have done unboxings.
I'll be honest. I was hoping that the controller connections would be the old ones because
Yeah, because you can use your old controllers.
no, my old controllers are broken.
Well.
I was hoping that I'd be able to take the new ones and plug it into my old system.
Wants to use the OGs.
Well, for the games that aren't
Right,
on the
right.
on the classic, because I have a couple that aren't on the SNES Classic.
I mean,
SNES.
my Nintendo controllers are still working. They still work good, but I will say, under certain conditions, they probably would have weathered over time. And I got a feeling one of them's not the best condition, but I like that you can take those apart. Super Nintendo's not the same way. You can't
Yeah.
take it apart like you could the Nintendo and like dip it in a hot bath or something. You know, and it's like, oh, it still works. Super Nintendo is a little bit more technical. So
Give it an
yeah,
oil
I understand
bath.
it. Yeah, well,
C-3PO oil bath.
hey, I had to pull mine out of my not my classic, my OG Nintendo NES out of the basement of my parents for my son because he didn't understand what that was, so I had to show him. But I had to take it completely apart and take an alcohol swab and swab the entire chipboard, the controller chipboards, and everything to get that thing to work. So
I'll tell you, one of the benefits, we were talking about this on release day. To me, one of the benefits of the SNES Classic is that you've got the HDMI connection because
right, yeah, because the other one's still that audio video,
it's the RCA
yeah.
or you plug it into the cable thing.
Yeah.
So
Now they do have things that transfer around, and I have seen aftermarket stuff for the 64, the Super Nintendo, and the NES that goes
Yeah.
from that plug-in to an HDMI port.
and I know that exists,
But I don't know how
at the same
reliable
time,
that is.
At the same time, you wouldn't. I just don't. It's not made for that aspect ratio.
Well, I can't go buy I
So-
can't buy a 70-foot cord of that. They only
Yeah.
have certain links where HDMI cables. Good lord! I
Yeah.
mean, you could probably buy one that runs the county.
And those are, that's that connection. HDMI is going to be the standard for a long time.
It is forever. And I think
So-
it's a great cable.
Yeah,
I
they're-
mean
they're
that's
good
sound and
cables.
everything. So.
Yeah. So that to me is a benefit of it. I will tell you, we were talking about, like, I know Landon, you unlocked Star Fox 2. I did as well. I haven't played Star Fox 2 yet.
Ribby.
I've been putting some time, as much as we ribbed it, as much as we joked about it. I've had some pretty good times over the last couple of days playing Kirby Dream Course with
course you have.
with
This guy.
with McKenna, and I played it with my daughter, played it with my wife. Lost both times because there's no strategy to that game.
Yeah.
It's just you. No matter how good you think you are, it doesn't matter. Anybody can win, and that's what's hilarious about it. It's almost hard to control and do what you want to do. So there have been some good times. We put some time in on that game, but I've been spending time. I did crack open some Final Fantasy 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been playing some. I did play some Star Fox. Played some Super Mario World.
Is there still the rewind feature on this one too?
No.
Really?
Yeah, that was one thing I guess I need to retract from my long-winded rant from last week. There is no rewind capability. I do not know where I got that from. So if that was the
ROMs.
one thing that pushed you over the edge deciding to buy this, I apologize.
One thing that I think is pretty nice, though, is that it does have the suspend feature. So for every game, you've got 5 suspend game slots. So you can just stop it.
Stop
and
where
it'll
you
save
are.
exactly
yeah.
where you are.
God, you know what?
That is
That
nice.
is a godsend. Because I can't tell you, it's like you have an hour to do whatever you need to do before you have to be somewhere as an adult.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're playing the game regular, it's like, I'm never going to make this checkpoint. I'm never going to make it. Never, never. And then 2 hours later, and you're late to wherever you're supposed to be, like your wedding or probably your uncle's funeral.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Work, things like that. And it's like, look, there are things I need to accomplish on Final Fantasy, and I cannot be there. I am sorry.
Yeah.
Please tell Uncle Roger I'm sorry he died. Well, can you just lay a rose on
Tell
there?
him. Please tell him.
the
Can you tell him?
survivors.
Yeah, just mention it amongst the people you talk to.
So that is a nice feature. But it does do the thing, too, where, like on Mario Kart, I've been putting some time on Mario Kart.
Of course you are. Now
I've got to get all
here's
my
the
gold
thing.
cups again.
How do we get more players on that? How do you go
Oh, yeah.
four
So
player
there's
with
no
that?
multi-tap.
Well,
But see, there wasn't
here's-
4 player. There's the only
You have to get the
option-
multi tap. Yeah.
That's my question. Was there 4-player on the original
swear
Super
there
Mario
was.
Kart? Because when you go in, it's 1-player, 2-player, and then you pick the mode. So I don't know that you could do 4-player on
Maybe
Mario
I'm
Kart.
mistaken.
You could on Bomberman with the multi-tap.
Yes.
And there were other games for sure. But
What
I
a
couldn't
cool name,
remember.
multi-tap.
That's what I always called it.
No, that's a cool name. I don't know if this is a real name, but it should be.
That's what me and my buds always called it, the multi-tap.
But didn't the Wii come out with a Super Nintendo controller, because a lot of those they were selling those games on the network or whatever they got.
Oh yeah, they did sell the
Wii
classics on the Wii.
Didn't
on the
they
Wii
sell
shop.
it? So that would make me think that you could get those controllers and plug those into that system.
I don't think you could plug in Super Nintendo controllers to the Wii.
No. The Wii sold specific controllers that plugged into the NUX or something like that,
I
or
see.
plugged into
I
the
see.
system
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
itself.
I see what
That's
you're
what I'm
saying.
saying. You could get Wii Nintendo or Super Nintendo.
Rewind
You
it.
could get Wii Super Nintendo esque controllers to plug into your system for longer wires or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd double check though.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying in
Maybe.
theory.
Yeah.
I thought that they did sell them.
So the SNES Classic doesn't have rewind, but Matt does.
That's got absolutely Matt Weavering.
So anyway, it's been fun. I've been enjoying it, and seriously getting some good nostalgic gaming time in. There's games I haven't gotten to yet. Ghouls and Goblins is still hard.
Oh, when is it not?
Yeah. So played some Street Fighter. Good times on Street Fighter. So guys, if you can get your hands on one, it's a fun little purchase. You know,
It is, and like you said, it hits the nostalgia factor, but at the same time, I think there are still some legitimate great games
Yeah.
on the SNES Classic. So
Yep.
that's another reason to check it out. as well.
I do like the and granted, straying away from the illegal black market of SNES ROMs. It is entertaining to think that maybe you can, get more games. Maybe even some 99 cents, to be able to plug in and load your SNES Classic up with some more games.
It'd be cool if they made it an official thing.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
and they kind of polish it a little bit, left the glitches, but and I'm sure these
Yeah.
games are polished. I don't know if you can tell. Do you guys notice anything maybe a little bit better about them?
To me, they seem
Straight-
exactly like they were in the old
Straight to
school
Memorex
system.
here. Yeah, we VH copied this.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got them all from the Blockbuster, and they just kind of put them on there.
Yep. Yep.
No, I think it'd be cool, or I don't know, some form or fashion of being able to do that. I think would be awesome. Well,
That would
it's
be
like load onto a thumb drive.
That was something I did think about. Like, it'd be cool if they offered like
99
upgrade
cents.
packages.
I think
down
99
the road.
cents, or $10 for 20 games. Fun stuff, and
Because my question would be, are they using all the storage that's available?
Oh,
on
absolutely
that system?
not. I don't know. It is a tiny system, but when
storage
I
is
see
cheap.
But when I see a terabyte that you can hold under your
Yeah,
thumb,
exactly.
I'm just blown.
Storage is cheap now, and it's small. So you have no
that
idea.
looks gigantic. I mean, that's bigger than like a 5 terabyte, hard drive. I say, oh, he's on the Googs.
I'm gonna ask.
He's on the
Googs.
trail.
Yeah, I would love to know that because
This-
I'm sure that's available out there.
What's this Googs brought to us by, Landon? He's not here. He doesn't care.
Landon's not going to do an ad for you.
Fine, screw him. He's the radio guy that he doesn't. We won't do that.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something clever, and I realized I hit my mute button. So there's the cleverness out the window. But I mean, it's like it would be cool if they could give like add-on packs to the SNES Classic. This thing isn't even online, period. So I don't know how like logistically that would even be possible.
Hey, I will say, get ready for the edit. All the people who threw it up on eBay for $250, fuck you.
No, feel free to leave that in there. Like scalpers suck, especially in something like this. Especially when Nintendo has already come out and said, "Do not pay more than $79.99."
We'll make some more, bud. That's what they're saying.
Back, there's people in a Facebook group that I'm a member of. They work at Target, and each of them independently of each other said, "We have been told in company-wide emails that we will be getting more shipments in within a few weeks, not a few months like it was with the NES Classic." It really feels like the Nintendo has learned its lesson when it comes to the Super Nintendo Classic. So do not pay scalper prices for the SNES Classic.
Based off that statement, and I've seen those same releases and where they've talked about it, I don't think that they were ready for what happened with the NES Classic.
I mean, it's possible.
I think they were kind of like, hey,
if they weren't prepared, that was because they weren't paying attention to the online buzz it was getting at all. Because immediately when this was announced, I saw story after story after story. This is amazing, and I want one. Not one. It's like, well, this looks cool.
But there's a lot of people who
let's
say
just wait
that.
and see.
You know, and I think it was a good judge. It was like, you know, we're going to bust this out there, and this happened. Okay, wow, did not expect that. And then they're ready this time. But I have said, and I will still hold on to it because I threw up on our Twitter, there is a rumor that is getting serious traction that the N64 Classic is on its way out.
I'm sure it is. That's
Well, of course
I have
it
no
is. Yeah.
doubt.
And I'm telling you, it would take one game for me to invest in that. One game.
So this is kind of interesting. Apparently, the hardware on the inside of the little console that looks like our mini SNES is exactly the same hardware that's on the inside of the NES Classic.
Really?
Yeah,
And they
So
just ROMmed it up.
All they did was change the shell and the software.
All they did was just buy a different Raspberry Pi 3D.
Pretty much.
shell.
Yep. Pretty much. Yeah. That sounds exactly.
I'm
what
just
they
telling
did.
you guys, if you really want to cheap out on this, $40 you can Raspberry Pi, but it takes a little doing, but you can do it.
I mean, I guess that would explain why the SNES Classic is just as hackable as the NES Classic was. It's the exact same damn thing.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I literally have about 20 SNES games on my tablet, and I have about 10 to 15 NES games, and then I have a Bluetooth controller that looks like a Super Nintendo controller at the house. And I do play it sometimes. So it's not out there if you can't get one of these guys that you'll never be able to play these games. But the thing with the SNES Classic, it does look cool.
Okay, so I'm reading. Apparently, it has 512 megabytes of NAND storage.
Okay, so that's not much.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, that's
not-
really
But
not a lot.
like you said, like Landon said, the power is that, you know, that USB port, right?
Yeah, it's a micro USB.
Yeah, so that's not hard to load stuff in and out of.
Yeah,
Is there any other ports besides that?
no, you just have the micro USB and the HDMI. That's it.
Oh, and while we're talking on the hackability of this
Well,
software,
we're telling you to do horrible things to your SNES Classic.
No, we're not telling you to do horrible things
Don't
to
do
your
anything to
SNES
it.
Classic, because in this case, somebody already did a horrible thing to their SNES Classic. You remember how Star Fox 2 was the big selling
Oh,
point?
yeah.
And how the code was never 100% of it. Yeah, it's now available 100% online. It was as of the afternoon it came out. So there you go, the internet.
Here's the thing, though. If people are passing it around free of charge, I'm going to say it's not a horrible thing for the simple fact that, number one, is Star Fox 2. So, number two is that if I bought a game and I want to let you borrow it or have it, it's not, undeemable to me to do that. And this is the music industry's problem, too. So, it has been for a very long time.
I agree with the majority of what you said, but I have seen people on Etsy and eBay have
yeah.
recreated SNES cartridges with Star Fox 2 artwork on it, and they're selling that cartridge that you could play in your SNES. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like it, but I hate it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if awesome is the word. It's just kind of it's funny.
I tell you what I would like, and this is Nintendo, I'm talking to you if you're listening, because we know you are.
We know you are.
We know you are. You need to come up with some kind of way to sell small cartridges for nothing for people who want to play these games that didn't come with it and somehow can plug into the equipment somehow. I don't know how you would do that, but
I'll tell you what. There's really no reason that Nintendo wouldn't have an online interface where you could go
they need one.
pick the games that you want, and then those cartridges, they all look the same. All they have to do is change the software
It's
that's on it.
stickers.
Yeah, and so you print off a sticker and just send out and they could probably legitimately do that for like $20-$30 a pop, and people would pay it.
But here's
to
what
get the cartridges.
Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft are all trying to do. They're trying to deter that freaking secondary market that is the used game industry. They hate it, and it eats
Well,
them
that's what I'm
alive.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they'd have to be cheaper.
That's why they want to do digital.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they should do personalized thumb drives to you.
Yeah, they could
You
do
know,
that.
it's like, hey, this, you choose 10 games. Like I said, they're 99 cents a piece. They cut you a deal on them or something stupid like that. They put it on a thumb drive, and then they send it to you. Hey, expect it in 2 to 3 weeks.
I also think that I should be able to send $60 to Rockstar, and they should make a Grand Theft Auto version of My Hometown. Why can't they do that?
That
like
would be
seriously,
Dude,
sweet.
if I was a programmer, I would do it for you. I would love.
we're dancing on that fine border of that's where this conversation is going. So
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. If Rockstar wants, if people want to pay the money for it, do it.
Actually, no, that's a pretty big leap because
Yeah, it is a
that
big
takes
leap.
That's
that
not
takes
how any of this works. I'm turning into that meme.
that
No,
takes
I'm
a
just
lot
saying,
of development.
what's
And what
the-
I'm
okay.
saying does not. Like,
What I'm saying, what's the difference between them offering you this on like a big, digital network of games you can choose from versus you going out on some shady freaking dark net and picking out 20 ROMs that you're going to freaking stick in your SNES Classic anyway?
Well, I don't disagree, and for whatever reason, Nintendo seems hesitant to that idea because they have had that platform to do exactly that, but you didn't have to take it onto USB and plug it into another device. I mean, they have the Virtual Console. They've had that for the Wii, the Wii U, and now the Switch. And for whatever reason, Nintendo seems to be hesitant to go just full bore. This is our entire back catalog.
It
Pay
probably
for
could
it
get
in our
pirated.
store.
It probably could get pirated. I understand that. And
Well, it's being pirated right now. And
Oh, I
Nintendo-
know. I
and
know.
But Nintendo doesn't want to make that money, so
well,
your options
maybe they're
are-
just cool with people ROMing it. They're just like, we're selling you a system. You do whatever the hell you want.
Well, it does-
here's your car. If you want to throw 20s on it, I'm sure everybody will love your Yugo with 20s.
I don't know. I'm
You guys are excited. That's all that matters.
I'm happy with it. I like that I've got it. I don't know that the analogy to like a Ford Fiesta works because I feel like we are talking
It's the
about
same
like
thing.
it's a classic system. So I'm thinking,
I looked up a car that came out at the same time, and the Ford Fiesta was the most popular car in 1990.
Well-
so yes, it is the same thing.
no, it's not the same thing.
No,
it's not the
have
same
you not
thing.
seen what
'cause
they do with Ford Fiestas?
No one's going to get a Ford Fiesta.
I have seen
for.
I've seen a Corvette engine in a Ford Fiesta. I have seen. Well, that's what you've got.
No, it is not. That's not it at all. Because think about a classic American car like
Ford Fiesta, a Mustang,
a Mustang.
Camaro.
But say they were going to re-release like a classic, like the '60s body style of the Mustang.
You mean like the Dodge Challengers
And-
or Chargers?
people bought 'em.
Oh yeah, they still buy them.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's probably a better analogy.
But they improved them way beyond what that thing ever had to
well,
offer.
yeah. But people still love to buy
I
and
just feel
restore
like-
classic cars.
True.
So
I feel like they should have put some kind of network on this guy though, some kind of talktivity, Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. That would have been nice.
yeah. Maybe,
I will.
Maybe the next time they re-release it.
Maybe the 64. I'm excited about the 64, but like I said, it will take that one game before I care about it.
But see, for you, that you would get excited about that and you'd go get that system. Those still exist out there.
I would go get that system if I thought I could get more people to enjoy it with me, and the 4-player aspect of it really sells me on it.
Mm-hmm.
The limitations with the SNE Classic really hesitate me because the what you call it, the D tab.
The
D-pad.
D-pad.
No, the multiplayer.
Oh, the multi-tap.
Yeah, multi-tap. I feel like that was the seller for us because all my SNES memories are not by myself. They're always playing with somebody or playing with a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the big game that I remember as a kid playing on that one was WWF Royal Rumble, and it was just kicking the crap out of the computer and continuous with 4 other people I like to play with. So
Yeah.
and
I've still
Tecmo.
got that cartridge.
And then they give you a Tecmo Bowl. You gotta have a Tecmo Bowl.
There aren't any sports.
Yeah, other than
I think
Super
it's the
Punch
third
out there,
parties.
there is no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the third parties that probably control those licenses. So
Yeah, you're right.
that sucks.
Yeah, as cool as it would be to have Super Tecmo Bowl, I could only imagine wrangling the license for all 32 teams, or I guess 30 teams at that point, because it might have been 28 at that point. However many teams were around.
I think it
during
was
Super
28
Tecmo Bowl.
because it was mismatched. I don't know how they're going to do the 64 anyway because it took that, you bought the 64, then you had to go buy that extended graphics modulator that goes in the front of that thing, if you remember.
Oh yeah,
that.
that's right. Yeah.
I don't know how that works. Am I still going to have to buy except it'll be smaller. It'll look like a little tiny USB dongle. It's like, all right, I got to get this in here just right.
Hopefully that will be built in.
I think it will be. It'd be fun. It's fun to think about, like, these are like ships in a bottle. Like, you don't have the actual big ship that sailed. You guys have got the ships in the bottle system.
I will tell you this: if they decided to put out a Sega CD Classic, there's no way I'm buying that because
Oh God.
like that.
Oh, no, you
that
could-
to me would be like the Ford Fiesta.
What was it?
Classic.
What was it that PSP
Yeah,
had the
just
little
start piling
discs?
it on.
Was it the PSP had the little disc you could shove in for the movies
Yep.
and stuff like that?
The
That's what
UMDs.
That's what it would take to put in there. They'll be like, click. No, I understand that. If Sega, I don't know that Sega has any hopes or dreams to release the Genesis Master
I
System.
think there is
or
a Genesis Classic.
Yeah,
Is there
I
really?
I think
There
that
is a
does
Genesis
exist
system.
right now.
Really, man,
Yeah.
I am behind.
That's
Where's
been out for-
ColecoVision?
It's that people don't really care.
Oh,
but it
yeah.
is-
I was going
it
to
is
say, yeah,
out
look at
there.
everybody clamoring for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't have Sega Genesis. A lot of people had it, but it doesn't have the nostalgia as Nintendo.
And I do have the Atari mini system that's got.
Well,
the
they've got the
built-in
new one
games.
coming out.
Yeah, there's.
I think I've
well,
thrown up
they're-
one of those, and that's weird looking.
Yeah, that's a whole new console. I'm
Yeah.
talking about their classic.
Well, they've got a
Atari
classic coming out
yeah.
that's supposed to have the 2600 with a billion games.
No, I have one.
Oh,
They-
you already
they
no,
exist.
they have another one. Like
Yeah.
whatever this other. Oh no, it is the new system. You're right.
Yeah.
It's supposed to have classic compatibility or something.
Maybe
stupid.
the new one will do that, but yeah, the old like built-in without cartridges. I've got
Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
got one of those Atari.
Which
systems.
those games are so rudimentary. Are they even a meg?
yeah,
They're like
probably
2
no space
kilobytes.
at all.
But yeah, I understand it. I mean, I get it. It's just there's things about it. I was like, man, I wish it would have,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I didn't do it.
Yep,
I didn't do it.
that's all right. You're saving your money for your PS4.
I am saving my money. No, I'm going to present my son with a PS4. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Daddy's playing it. Goodbye.
There you go.
Get out.
It's a good strategy.
It's a good strategy. I think it works. I think it's a viable reason. So
I think it's time for you to roast it up.
I was about to say, have we dwelled in the nostalgia well long enough,
Absolutely.
guys? I want to tell you about a little thing that made me unhappy this week. When I say a little thing, I'm talking about immediately wanted to smash my computer with my fist.
Oh boy.
There's certain movies in my lifetime, and talking about nostalgia, that I really feel for, and I felt like were a part of my growing up and learning to be a man. This is not one of them, but this is definitely one that I really cherish. It's a little Disney movie I like to call Flight of the Navigator.
It's a classic.
It was a classic movie. I really enjoyed it. The premise is this boy, 1978, he's loving 4th of July. They're shooting off fireworks. Him and some friends scoot off to get into some mayhem. Not really. I don't know what 78 they did. We'll just say they were being rambunctious. He fell into a ditch, woke up, and it's 1986. And he doesn't know why, how, or when this happened. He's been
Don't
missing.
you hate it when that happens?
His younger brother is now the same age as him. Actually, I think he's older than him at this point. And, you know, as in all time travel, everybody around you is like, where have you been? What's been going on? And at the same time, they captured an alien vessel that seems to have a connection with this sort of thing. So, lo and behold, yes, this alien vessel was the reason that it happened. The alien, which is an AI kind of robot-esque floating head, is flying around and scoops him up. They have some adventures and finally takes him back, you know, to his time.
Yep.
It's fun. It's entertaining. It still makes me laugh. It's a good movie. Here's what you don't do with those kind of things. You don't take them, you don't piss on them, and you don't make them a new movie from someone who has never made a movie. So talking about the first one, director Randall Klizel, we'll say. He's done a
Fashizzle.
couple. Fashizzle, Klizel. He did a couple of things, and this was a Disney-esque thing. The guy who did the voice for the AI robot was Paul Rubens. He was the voice of the ship. Did a great job. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of 80s terms in there. So going down, as I read more in this article of what's happened, Disney tried to remake this bad boy in 2009. They had somebody write it. Brad Copeland. Does it ring a bell? It's a guy that evidently did Arrested Development. He wrote it. I don't know if they weren't happy with it or whatever, shelved it. 2012, they hired 2 more guys, Colin Terravero and Derek Conley, to write the script for the project, and it was supposed to be directed by Terravero.
Oh, the guy that got fired recently by Kathleen Kennedy?
Dun, dun, dun. So this is the makings of something yummy. So then we get down to the point and we hand it off to David Haberman and Todd Lieberman to make this movie, but Terravero directed Jurassic World and Book of Henry, so he was undisturbed in this. So Henderson is your guy right now. He has done Lucifer. He's on season 3 of the like Lucifer, but I don't like it enough for you to write a kids movie that I cherished in the 80s. So you first one. I don't really care about that. I don't want you to write the devil's inadequate dealings with a spaceship. So let's not have that. He's also wrote some stuff, or co-produced White Collar and Graceland and Almost Human. Okay? He's done nothing. Your pedigree is nothing. This is a script that's been rewritten twice. So you know what that tells me? You can't write it. Come up with a new idea. This is bullshit. I'm tired of this horseshit crap that they go. Disney's like, well, can we go in the vault here? Let's see what we got here. Let's some dust here. I've already done this one. Oh, looks like Flight of Navigator. Let's these people. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Because there's no point in remaking this movie. It's like trying to remake T-Wolf. You're not going to get that Michael J. Fox character. Now, I'm not saying that this child actor was the stellar of stellars, but usually when you update a sci-fi movie, it's because the science fiction is old. And it's like, okay, we're a little beyond what's going on here. This movie, you can still watch it, and what they're doing is stuff we still don't have.
Right.
There's a view screen in the middle of this ship. Everything raises up. The ship morphs. You know,
Yeah.
he can go through time. He knows different aspects of things. None of that technology is old yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
We don't have it.
Now, I don't know what voice actor we're trying to get a job right now, but I don't want it, okay? I don't need
Maybe it could be Steve from Blue's Clues. If we're
Oh, that would be
people-
great, because, you know, Balding Steve needs to get in there. I mean, that is why he left. But I don't want this. This is terrible. I can think of 3 ideas that is a better movie than remaking this. Number 1, an alien with no legs and a planet full of legs. Okay, there's your first idea. Go with that. It's a thing about what you want and what you
full of
need.
legs.
Yeah, it's just aliens with big tall legs and he has none. And he has to live his life like
I
that.
just pictured disembodied legs.
That's
walking
what I'm
around.
saying, with
he has
heads.
no legs.
Yeah.
He's like, what can I have those?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do one about technology, I heard there's a new Terminator coming out. Why don't you strap your cart to that bad boy? I'm sure Arnold Schwarzenegger will welcome you aboard. You know? Why can't we have a funny Terminator? Let's do that. Let's go that way. We've done everything else.
I mean, if you watch the original Terminator today, it's kind of funny.
It is funny.
Yeah.
And the technology's not old, though. We didn't reboot it. We haven't redone the Terminator. We just keep doing timelines that are terrible. I will say this. The caveat to all this hate, if you made a sequel to this where this kid is older and that alien came back,
Comes back.
I'm okay with that.
You good?
Because it's kind of like a continuation on the story.
Yeah.
The robot comes back to see how he's doing. Maybe this guy's like a hobo.
He's a
or
hobo.
or maybe he's got a best-selling book about his experiences and people are treating him like some kind of pariah out there. It's like, this guy's full of crap. Like he's like Alex Jones-esque level of conspiracy level.
Maybe he invented
Bed
Scientology.
with an alien. Yeah. Oh God, that would be awesome. Oh God. He invented Scientology. And they guest appearance by Tom Cruise. Let Tom Cruise
Tom
direct
Cruise
this.
could be the grown kid.
I mean, he did an okay. Oh my God, I would love it. I would love it. I would love that. We're back to the same thing we did in Ghostbusters. Did you not watch that movie? I think we learned a little something about it. It didn't work. So let's not do this. Let's not do it. Let's not do it. It's f***ing terrible, man. I cannot stand. I'm turning my tablet off because looking at an article just makes me insanely mad. I turned you off. I said good day.
I think when I think about movies like Flight of the Navigator, certain movies that we had when we were kids, they are so like essentially 80s. Like that movie
Yes.
to me is just an 80s.
He's
movie.
wearing a striped polo that I personally had to wear when I was a kid.
And I think part of the charm of watching it today, part of the charm of watching it today
It's Tennessee charm.
is that it's a step back into a time period.
Yeah, exactly. I get to relive how I felt when I watched it.
Yeah.
It's the same reason we don't remake Back to the Future. It's the same reason that we don't remake The Goonies. Because there's no
Yeah, The Goonies is a good one.
point.
I would say that one definitely falls into the category. But you can make new things like Stranger Things that
Stranger
have a
Things, that's what I'm saying.
similar feel to The Goonies, but it's a different
Here's the
story.
thing, though. I can promise you that this writing icon that we're pulling from the Lucifer show to write this opus to freaking a Disney classic, which I will use the word classic because it is.
Yeah, I think so.
To write this say magnifique cupcake of a freaking script, we're going to bring him in and he's going to just rewrite it to modern times. I promise you. So we're not
Yeah,
going
that's
to
what it'll
recapture
be.
the 80s. We're going to
It'll
get
be- yeah.
the 2000 case, which suck, man. It sucks right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm not having a good time in this year. I'm not having a good time personally in my own personal life, but as far as what's going on in the world, it sucks.
Here's a depressing thought for you. Have you ever like just stopped and looked around and
No.
said to yourself, we are kind of living in a dystopian future?
Sure, without zombies or anything fun to do. Mm-hmm. We're living in all the problems of one, but none of the fun.
Yeah. None of the whimsy.
None of the whimsy.
Of Zombieland.
There's no zombies to kill. There's no aliens to fight. There's no interstellar starships to argue about. There's no
It's the worst.
there's no
dystopian
superheroes
future.
making things bad for us. We don't have anything. We just have the problems of those things
Yeah.
without the actual fun or enjoyment of those
Yeah.
things.
So we don't need a Flight of the Navigator set today
No, we don't.
because it would just be Sad Navigator.
It's when it be sad navigator. It'd be flight of boredom. He would literally in that thing. The kid's like, "Please take me back to my time." This kid would be like, "No, I'm cool. Let's go. Can we
Yeah, can we
travel
get
the
outta here?"
stars?" I'm like, I'm cool to check the out right now. My parents blow. They're in a situation that's terrible because this is based in America, guys. It's not any other continent. This guy would probably write it in Russia. What a piece of shit! I guarantee he would. It'd be like Flight of the Navigator, Russia, and go to hell. He's just terrible.
My parents won't stop talking about whether they support or are against
Oh, I
kneeling
know,
during the
exactly.
national anthem. Can I get out of here?
Yeah, can I leave? And then his little brother is like staring at a screen forever. And it's like he has no inner, connection with this younger brother, which in the other one he was like, "Oh, I miss you, little brother." And then like the dog, which was a big part of it, like the dog was dead and like the kid was upset. I was like, it's been 8 years. What do you think that dog is? Oh no, he wasn't dead. He was like 100 years old at that point in dog years. But it was like 8 years later, and this kid looks the same, and everybody's freaking out about it, which is a cool premise.
Yeah.
But make a sequel. Don't reboot. Stop. That word is illegal.
Illegal.
It's illegal. I'm calling a flag on it. Flag on the field for reboot.
Yeah.
This is. I'm going to push my little mic down. This is a reboot. We've noticed that it's not living up to the hype of the other movie. We're going to start again.
You're not
Second down.
You're not getting enough feedback on your mic.
Yeah. Or I can just let my. If it was a visual element, I would just let my lips move and go. On the.
No, it
Yeah.
works.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So I like to do that at drive-thru sometimes. Just the kids don't like it. But anyway, so I'm just saying there's got to be a better solution if Disney obviously Disney wants to do something with this property. I get it. Go for it. Sequel it out, baby. Go nuts. But I'm telling you that sequel's not going to end the same way. Like that kid's going to be like, "I am cool to leave." I mean, I really don't need to pack anything. I'm sure you got clothes there. Do you even wear clothes? Is it a nudist alien colony? We're all cool. It doesn't matter. We don't have the same
Clothes
stuff.
wouldn't fit because it's aliens that don't have arms or legs.
No, they have legs, or some don't have. I'm just saying that it could be a cool movie. I can think of 1,000. If they just give me a call, they know my Twitter. They can get on there. I will throw you a movie idea.
Oh, by the way, next week we're going to be announcing that movie's under development.
Oh, I can guarantee it. I can guarantee, and the
Someone's
hate
gonna
will
pick it up.
increase
Someone's
in
going
me.
to pick it up from you.
I'm telling you, when I say it boils my blood, it absolutely does. The minute I saw it, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
This is worse than Ghostbusters. Ugh. Ugh. So that's where I'm at on that. F*** you.
Well, he seems to be taking it well.
He's in a mood. He's set off. Baby, he's a firework, but not in the right way.
Not the Katy Perry-esque one. No. Though I would like to light a firework under the person writing the reboot. Directly from the Butul.
Godzilla's anus?
Absolutely. Can we light some
Yep.
fire? Oh, that's how they
The trifecta.
That's how they let them know the place is open. And he's like, he opens his mouth and maybe the head props back and like, ah, and like all the fireworks come out.
That'd be cool.
I think it'd be
Dear
cool. Look,
Lord.
I'm not an architect, but I would be your architect for that store. Why? I'm not going to do the voice. I almost did. Why do you want people to go into the anus? Well, I'm not saying they have to go in the anus. I'm just saying they should have stairs that go kind of
There has to be an opening somewhere under the tail. I mean, what else you
spirally
gonna call
under
it?
the tail into the orifice you would prefer in the bottom of this store.
Oh boy.
You can't go in the mouth. It's too high.
Whoops. I think we need the Christian Bale. That their term was not good.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, can we let's ask for a I don't know, like a some sort of a break from reboot news because I don't think Matt can take it. His little heart.
Yeah, seriously.
won't hold
I'm
out.
literally after this going to ride my bike and think about my life as it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go buy a new headset after that scorching hot take from Matt.
I'm not, guys. I am not hot about everything, but there are certain things that just push the button for me, and it's launch time, and I will launch into Curse Town with this freaking garbage.
Garbage.
It's wrong. It's wrong. It's fake news.
Yeah.
I don't even do it. Mine goes New Jersey when I try to do it.
Well, it's close. It's in the neighborhood.
Yeah. It's in the neighborhood, kind of like Applebee's.
Yeah. It is. Yours is the Applebee's of Donald Trump impression.
Applebee's of Donald Trump. I love it. I love it. That's all my impressions.
In other news, happy birthday to Brie Larson.
Hey, way to make
Yay.
it. You did it. You're
Try-
winning at life.
Just trying to move off of the.
I saw this on.
We might be going back.
No.
Happy
I saw
birthday.
this. It was kind of a funny thing. For whatever reason, there's a new thing called high quotes. People that have said things supposedly when they're high.
Are they all Doug Benson quotes?
They do sound like it. He goes, "Why do we celebrate another lap around a giant fireball?"
Yeah.
I was like, "That's interesting. Why do we celebrate
true.
laps around a giant fireball?"
It's a good point. So we made a wish last week, and it was that you would vote in our poll. Still, call back to the old SNES classic conversation that we had, I don't know, 20 minutes ago.
For over 20 minutes.
So we asked the question, between the three options we gave you, was there a title that you would prefer to see replace Kirby Dream Course? Now I'm kind of backpedaling. I like Kirby.
No, you would replace it. Come on,
I would.
You'd still subtract that.
I'm totally kidding. But we did
You
get
should have seen if you get $5 off if they leave it off. Hey, I'm not trying to make things hard, but if you could just leave off that game and $5 off,
hold the pickles.
hold the pickles.
That's
That's how you get a fresh
one.
NES. Full circle.
Oh, I enjoyed that a lot. That was good.
And it's like, my mic stopped working. Bye.
Yeah. Well, we got 22 votes this week. It's one of our most popular polls we've ever thrown out there.
Oh, wow.
And with 41% of the vote, Chrono Trigger is the one that people
Really?
want to see.
And
I win. I win
yeah, but you
again.
said it wasn't even that popular, so I guess it was that
It
popular.
was, yeah.
I win.
Final Fight got 32 and Pilot Wings 27. We all got well represented, I
Yeah.
feel like. Yeah. So
And we did get a shout out for Super Tecmo Bowl. So
there
Nice.
was that we did get a shout out for Tecmo Bowl, but again, those licenses, man.
I think that's what it is, man.
It was an also run.
Yeah.
So we can mention it, but it doesn't really count. Did we get it? I don't think we got any Facebook.
Not that
shout-outs on
that I
one.
recall. I mean, I will.
No
I will,
Facebook.
I will check for you.
And while we're checking social media, I do want to give Andrew a shout out because if you guys want to go to the forums, I'm not going to quote it here because here's what I'm going to ask you. If you want to see an Andrew view, go to the Nerd News Cafe forums because Andrew gave his wrap up of the Secret Empire series. So,
oh, nice.
yeah, put out a good paragraph out there. So Andrew coming through in the clutch once again. Absolutely appreciate that. If you guys want to be mentioned, want to be part of the conversation, get out there, interact with us. That's what we want to do on this show. We want to be interactive. We want to talk to you. We want to represent your opinions. And I do want to give a shout out to Eric Lehman too, because yesterday, as I mentioned, now we're recording on Sunday. Yesterday was International Podcast Day, and Eric gave us a shout out and just said thanks for all the free funnies. We do it for you, man. That's why
we definitely
do
don't
it.
get paid.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. Thank you for appreciating us. So.
We had no interaction. We had lots of shares, but no interaction on Facebook, which is okay
Yeah, well, all right.
as long as there's lots of interaction elsewhere.
Yep. So we did get several retweets this week. All of you are eligible to win an e-comic. And so I'm going to ask my drum soloist, Matt, to give me a drum roll. And by generation of a random number, the winner is Sam Barker.
Tried to turn it into an arrow.
Sam Barker is from London, England. He says, this is a quote he pulled from George Bernard Shaw. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Nice.
That's deep.
Nice work, Sam Barker.
Is he
No relation to Bob.
Is he a sologamy?
Sologamist.
Sologamist.
Maybe. He could
be.
be. I'd respect him.
He found himself and he married it.
He found himself and he was like, you know what? I'm into this.
I'm good. I'm good
I'm
with
into
me.
this. Yeah. So, Sam Barker, we are going to hook you up with a free e-comic this week. I I think that you deserve something from the old. We're gonna go with X-Men Blue this week. This was a couple of weeks ago. X-Men Blue number 10. We're going to hook you up with the digital version of that. Don't ask me what the bonus content
I was about to
is.
say, just remember there will be bonus content. And I will say, I don't think we've ever been disappointed with the bonus content.
Yeah, it's always good.
So I hope it's a big mystery and you're like, ooh, wow.
The cool thing about the bonus content, while sometimes you get these comics, the comic you win might be in the middle of a run,
Yeah.
but usually the bonus content is like a number one or something.
Well, what was the one last week? It was like a whole
It was
freaking...
Captain Marvel's not anthology, but
But,
the trade paperback thing, graphic novel.
I was about to say graphic novel, which was a huge thing. I think, that's a Hunter special, isn't it, Landon?
Yeah, he loves those
Yeah.
graphic novels.
He doesn't buy anything but those.
So this week, calling back to the Tuesday show, we were talking about horror games.
Horror games.
More games.
And now that it is October, I think that it's appropriate we go with a horror theme.
It'll be a horror fest
Horror Fest.
for these Thursdays.
Yeah.
Get ready.
So let's talk about that and let's throw out some options. So what we were talking about was like what was our favorite horror game? And I threw out some options with Silent Hill. Matt was talking about Fatal Frame. Mm-hmm. Well, when we say favorite, it's like quote unquote, it's the one that scared the pants off of us
one
a
that
little
is
bit.
terribleness. I'm going to stick with Fatal Frame for mine.
You want Fatal Frame?
Yeah, I feel like that's nasty.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up the specific Silent Hill that I want to reference. I don't think it might have been Silent Hill 2.
I think you could say all-encompassing Silent Hill.
Oh, I feel like that's cheating. I want to go specific.
It's not cheap. Not to me.
I do think you were talking about 2 earlier when you were talking about it. So if you want to go 2, you can.
Yes, it was Silent Hill 2. So that's the one I'll pick. That was the PlayStation 2. That's right.
What do you want to do, Landon?
I'm going to stick with my answer that I gave on Tuesday, the original Resident Evil. Not necessarily the most scary game I've ever played, but definitely that one moment of the zombie dogs busting through the windows. That, like I said, I'll never forget that moment. So I'll go with that.
I'm gonna make a request that if someone throws a suggestion out there and maybe beat you to the punch or whatever, like it or favorite it with a heart, and that way we can say that's a vote for whatever that was suggested.
Yeah, that's cool. We can
And that
do
makes
that.
it easy. So, because I know, in the polls, definitely people are going to vote for what's there because they're just kind of like, oh, I'll just pick one. I don't have to think. But if somebody says, I don't know, they throw up, I don't know, Kingdom Hearts 2. not that
That
it's
game
scary.
was super scary.
Yeah, it was
That's
scary to
terrifying.
play. But, somebody throws that up and you're like, oh, man, I should have thought of that one. And that was really scary to me. Put some hearts on it or a like or wherever they put it up. Throw it on there. We'll tally that up as a vote for that we didn't put on there. And just remember to retweet and vote. Or not vote,
And
but follow.
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 Be a follower.
Don't try to think for yourself. Be a follower.
That's our message to you.
That's right. That's our message to you, you sheeple listening. No, I'm just kidding. That was bad.
All right. So go out and vote. You can win.
I blame caffeine.
And you can do it on the forums too.
Yeah, you can hit us up on the forum. We will tally it all together. We do look through it and kind of come through it, and I welcome suggestions. I would love to know what scares the piss out of people on video games. I will say that if I had played Fatal Frame during the day, maybe on a lazy Sunday with the sun shining through the blinds, it probably wouldn't have been as bad, and I'd have been like, this is stupid.
I thought the
It was
original.
not.
I thought the original BioShock had some scary moments.
I haven't played BioShock.
Yeah.
That's one franchise I haven't jumped into yet.
It was fun.
Definitely some eerie moments from Rapture.
Yeah. So that could be one that people throw out. Just a suggestion.
I'm gonna throw out. It created a creepy atmosphere, not necessarily a scary game. Fallout 3.
Yeah. I agree with that.
If you want to
Yeah,
say,
they're-
I was about to say, if you want to go with creepiness, I'm going to say Myst. If you guys ever
Yeah,
played the
Myst is
original Myst,
creepy.
that was the creepiest game. And the
Yeah.
more you learned about what those brothers were doing, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, Myst was pretty creepy. If you want to go old school PC games, if we're jumping into that,
Yeah, whatever, man.
and jumping on that horse, you guys ever play Seventh Guest?
I played a little bit, but not enough to
Have
really get
not.
into
That
it.
game scared me a little
I
bit.
think I watched somebody play it,
as a 12-year-old.
As a 12-year-old.
when I played. Yeah.
Also, want to give a shout out to the Nintendo GameCube classic Eternal Darkness.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
That game messed with your mind like no other game I'd ever experienced before. Still, that moment when it says it's deleting all of your saves on your memory card is like, what? No.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love that. That's brilliant. Like,
That's a good one.
yeah. I've read, I think in the past I've read lists of like best horror games, best scary games that have ever come out, and that's one that always gets mentioned, Eternal Darkness.
I would say Left 4 Dead's pretty creepy. If it wasn't for some of the comedy the characters are blurting out, there are elements that will scare the piss out of you with like the hunters that jump on you and are gonna claw on your face.
Yeah.
And if you're not playing with anybody, I'm gonna let you know right now that those computer players probably not gonna help you.
Yeah.
No. Though I would pay just to listen to the conversations that Ellis has with the other characters.
Oh, absolutely.
in Left 4 Dead 2. And I always get pissed off when it's like, all right, Ellis, that's enough. Nobody wants to hear about it. No, please continue. I want to hear about the time Ellis and his stupid redneck friend got caught in a like shack in the swamp or something.
Yep.
I definitely want to hear about that.
Oh, absolutely. Every one of his stories unfinished is just a nightmare in itself not to hear the ending. There's no closure. How did the alligator save you from high school? What happened? It's coming on Lewis Black callback, but
Oh, yeah.
the horse.
The horse.
If it wasn't for my horse, I wouldn't have made it through college.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, Ellis had, I'm with you, Landon. I would love to have just him on demand, like this button for Ellis Talk.
Seriously, make that happen. We can get mods where I can play as a raptor, but we can't get mods to just hear Ellis's conversations.
Yeah, really.
So, obviously, a lot of good options out there, guys. So, if you don't like the three that we're putting as our official, candidates in the no pants poll, then throw out whatever hits your brain, and we'll mention it next week on the show. So that'll be. You can find the poll on our Twitter account. That's at nerd_news_cafe. But there's a lot of other places you can find us, and Matt's going to tell you all about it.
You can go to nerdnewscafe.com where the forums are there ready and waiting for your entries of intrigue. Or you can hit us up on the Facebook page, which is Nerd News Cafe. It's not hard to find. It's in the search. We are easy to be available to you. You can put a comment on there. We always throw it up there if you personally know us, which you probably don't. But we do throw the poll and retweet and re-share. Yeah, we share those kind of things on the Facebook, so you guys can find us easily there. And then we're on the US of Tubus. If you want to find us there, you can leave a comment. If it's easier to do that, like I said, if you're getting blocked at work because you listen to the internet for us, you can definitely get on YouTube because everybody does training situations through YouTube and they don't block you. So
there you go.
I think that about covers it.
Now, why don't you go ahead and tell us all about what people can expect on the Star Trek podcast?
Tracking Trek podcast. I will tell you right now, as we are recording this before I actually see it, I can't tell you how bad or good caffeine-wise it is going to be for me on that one. I'm hoping it is going to be good. Do you remember that part where I said that thing and we all laughed? It was great. So if you want to know what that thing was that we all laughed about, go listen to the episode we just dumped right out the airlock yesterday. You can find it at Tracking Trek Podcast. You can go on the Twitter at Tracking Trek Pod.
Nice. Landon?
Twitter.com/Landoz, LANDOZ. That's where you can find the latest happenings and musings, whatever comes out of my head and is posted on my website, Buttmunchchips, buttmunchchips.com. That's where you can find the exclusive postings of Game of Thrones Talk, a.k.a. Got Talk. That's where myself and Hunter East break down each episode of HBO's award-winning series, Game of Thrones. We are in somewhat of a hiatus because we don't know when HBO's Game of Thrones is coming back because HBO doesn't know when HBO's Game of Thrones is coming back. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Jay, you got any plugs?
I just want to say happy October, everybody. Halloween is coming. It's one of my favorite months, and it's my wedding anniversary. So there you go.
True.
That's
There
it.
you go.
At the Croots on
At the
Twitter.
Croots.
All right, so for the Croots, Justin Krutzinger and Matt Weaver, my name is Landon Doan. We thank you for joining us on another issue of Nerd News Cafe. Stir it up. We've been great. You've been Nerd News. Good night.